You see, the way to approach this is to look at the entire power sector. On Sunday, we were discussing here because everyone seems to think, oh, the discos are the problem. The discos are the problem. I am not saying the discos are not a big problem.
Right.
But the point that I'm making, that some fixated Nigerians don't appear to want to hear, is that the entire power sector is rocked by multi-faceted crises of different dimensions, affecting transition and transmission, generation, and distribution. The way to solve the problem is not simply to look at one sector or one subsector and say, this is the discourse. In fact, it's an illiterate way of looking at the problem. You understand? Just as some people, because they have lights in their area, they say, electricity has improved. And I've said the way to know whether electricity has improved is to find out how much we are generating. Look at how much the transmission company of Nigeria wields to the discourse relative to what's generated. And then the discourse, how much have they evacuated? That's the way to know. You cannot say power situation has improved because in your area you have light. It's an illiterate way of looking at the problem. And we will not solve a problem if we don't look at it, look at the bigger picture.
Right.
Like what happened now, these system failures that we are talking about, is it a problem of the discourse? Will you say the discourse caused it? This year alone. We've now had more than one system failure in a month. That's what it means. If you had 6 in 4 months, we are not even at the end of 4 months. How many are we going to have before the end of the year? If we had less than 50 system failures in 3 years, and in 4 months we already had 4, does it not show clearly that we are not in a good place? Even with people, you put some people who are not even receiving electricity in excess of 10 hours a day, you put them in band A. Are you whining me? They don't get more than 8 to 11 hours a day, and you put them on band A. Who does that now? So we have problems. If electricity supply can drop to less than 100 megawatts in a day,
it's marks of something else. Yeah.
Gas supply, we always say gas constraint is a problem. People breaking pipelines. Electricity, Gencos located so far away from source of gas. It's a problem. But you know, in our country, if we located the generating companies in the same area, because the source of gas is in the Niger Delta, people will raise hell about it. They will complain. They will complain. But it has its own problems. Pipelines crisscrossing our country, and a lot of them on the surface of the earth. People, I've seen pipelines where children were running on top of them. In the Niger Delta, I saw videos. They're just playing around. They don't even know. Oblivious of the danger. They're just, people breaking pipelines, believing that it's crude oil that is there, only to discover that it's gas. You've merely wasted because you cannot pipe it. What you've broken it for nothing. There's no way you can trap the gas that is escaping. These boys doing all this, they need to be spoken to or find a way to deal with the situation. They can't be breaking pipelines like that because you don't. After breaking it, you can't evacuate the gas. You can't do anything to it. But Paul you just waste it.
Yeah, but Paul just gave an instance that perhaps need to police these areas, these infrastructures better. If we're talking about safety of these gas pipelines?
You made a mistake from the beginning. If you bury it so deep in the ground, bury so deep in the ground, and you make it risky for anyone to attempt to get there. Either you could electrocution, happen and all that. They will not go there. The way we put the gas on the surface of the earth in some places, I mean gas pipelines, and the way we didn't bury some of them deep enough is an incentive. It encourages the boys, yes, those vandals. That's the thing. We should have, if we are to take a look at the pipeline infrastructure again and we have the resources, we need to rebury them, bury them deep in the ground. They won't get there. That's the thing. Other countries do that. But where are we going to find the kind of money to do that now? Because the same way that they are breaching even petroleum pipelines. I remember the former Minister of Minister of State, Petroleum Resources, BKO, telling us that they wanted to send refined crude to some of the depots. They then decided that, okay, let us even first pump water through the pipelines. Do you know that on the day that it was announced that they will pump petrol, pipelines were breached in so many places, meaning that some people within NNPC, DPR, and the rest, they had already notified their boys that, oh, we are pumping petrol. Oh, yeah, go and breach the pipelines. They didn't know that it was water that they would encounter. They broke the pipelines in different places only to discover that, oh, it was actually water that was pumped. Yes, I was shocked when the minister was telling us. That's what we do to ourselves in this country. We sabotage our country. We do great things to undermine our country. Not just with our mouths and what we type on social media, but even some of the things that we do. We behave like enemies of our country. And it has to stop.
Right, indeed it has to stop if we need to be progressive in this country we call Nigeria.